What is the biggest problem affecting your PDR business? What is the one thing holding you back from taking the next step? What do you need to change to get the business growth you want? All these questions have the same answer. It's your mindset. My name is Corey Kleinfeld, and this is the PDR Coach Podcast, where I coach you on mindset around yourself and your PDR business. Now let's get started.
Welcome back to the PDR Coach Podcast. Today's a solo episode. End of the year, just wanted to share some thoughts that I had and talk about the previous year and kind of lead into next year. End of the year, I mean, we're all going to talk about, a lot of people are going to talk about goals, right? What are your goals for next year? What are you going to do? Write them down. Here's how you can achieve goals, etc. I love that. Last year I probably did a podcast on exactly that. I'm a big goals guy, so I would encourage everybody to create goals. If you're going to do it, make some realistic goals, and then make some wildly spectacular goals that you can shoot for. Because I feel like the further you shoot, the further you project out, the further you can get, I guess. So if you make a wildly outrageous goal and you get really close to it, then it's probably got you further than just setting a goal and achieving it. So because it makes you do things that you wouldn't normally do. So that's my advice on goal setting. If you're going to set goals, do that. I do a lot of goal setting with my coaching clients, with our Young Guns PDR 20 group. We're all going to do that and hold each other accountable. But I just wanted to make sure that in this process of the year, at the end of the year, and beginning a new one, that we all take a moment and reflect back on how far we've come. Man, I feel like especially now in this time that we're in this age or era, can we say COVID era? Will that go down as an era in the history of the world? I feel like enough's changed that it could, but just look back, because I mean, I essentially started my podcast when COVID took over the world, I guess, when that was like the most commonly used word in the world. And started my podcast in April of 2020. The amount that has changed in the world, first of all, in our industry, in my business, and quite frankly, in my life personally, I just look back and think about all the things that have been overcome to get where I am. And I just want to encourage everyone else to do the same. So basically every deck guy I talk to, for the most part, or that I know of or followed, 90+% of them kept their businesses open throughout the entire COVID era so far. I guess it hasn't really ended, but have kept their businesses open the entire time. That's an accomplishment. I feel like just that alone. I feel like when you're looking into next year, looking into goals, looking into what you can achieve, don't forget that you're one of the people who, whether you were supposed to or not, kept your business open and were still there for your customers and still there for your clients. And that matters. It matters in your resilience factor. It matters in that little tiny bit that you did to keep the world moving forward and keep the world going and promote what you believe in, which I know for a lot of you is a freedom to be able to open your fucking business if you want to or not, and that matters. I think more and more that's becoming something that becoming a point of contention in the world. these little moments where we can show that we are free, uh, and by keeping your business open, that was one of those things. So take a look back at that. And even if you didn't keep your business open, um, and you had to shut it down for various reasons, I know a few people as well that did that. The fact that you did shut down and are still in business and have still found a way to grow your business. I know a couple people personally who did need to shut down, and it wasn't that they don't believe in freedom or anything like that, or that they don't, have the same values, but they had to shut down, and they came back stronger. They spent the time in the house creating a better business, and that's huge. We all saw that on display in real life. I mean, how many local restaurants did you know, the ones that shut down and just waited for them, I'll just open back up when they say I can, versus the ones that pivoted, that did the outdoor dining, that did the takeout, that found a way to either stay open, some of them, um, and cater to customers who wanted to go to restaurants regardless of the rules, or pivoted in a way that kept serving their customers and stayed open. So just not, if your business is still open after March of 2020, it's a massive accomplishment, plain and simple. um, so just look back at that, look back at how you've changed, look back at how the industry's changed. I mean, the used car market, I have a couple clients who were very dependent on the used car market volume, right? Like, they would do 15 to 20 cars a day. That was their business. They throw a little retail in here or there. Some of those clients have completely shifted their business to one, charging way more at the wholesale level. Because I mean, one, because they're getting way less cars. So instead of fixing 15 or 20 cars, they are fixing 6 cars a day, a mix between wholesale and retail, and they're actually making more money, gross, and their businesses are thriving, and that's a huge accomplishment. To be able to pivot your business that much, within a 1 year period, is a big accomplishment. Um, those are just a couple examples I can think of now. But when you're going to create the goals next year, just don't forget to look back at the last couple of years and where you feel like you succeeded. Give yourself a pat on the back. This episode's probably as much for me as it is for anyone else. As a reminder to do that. As a reminder to look back and see, what's changed and how you handled it, and understand that you are capable of more than you probably think. If in early 2020 at MTE, an oracle of our business was to tell people, the world's going to shut down. No one's going to be driving their cars really anymore. Everyone's going to be at home. And then soon after that, the used car market is going to be about 20% capacity of what it is. Um, you know, Whatever else happened, all those things. And we all knew that in early 2020, we would have all been very scared. We would have been like, how are we supposed to run our businesses if no one's out there shopping at the shopping malls, and denting each other's cars, and the used car market doesn't have any vehicles, and rental fleets are going out of business? Like, how are we supposed to do all that? But we did, and we're still here, and we're still standing. And I think our industry is stronger than ever. I think our industry um, is still continuing to grow. So that's all I have to say. So good job as a whole. Um, can't wait for MTE to see everybody. And if you want help making goals, I can help you. So thank you guys for listening, as you always do, and I appreciate it. If you want to give a review of the podcast, I would appreciate that as well. And I think this is episode number 99. So looking forward to episode number 100. See y'all soon.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the PDR Coach Podcast. If you got any value from this podcast and want to do something for me, then the best way to do that is to subscribe to the podcast and give me a rating and review. If you want to know more about me, then you can find me on Instagram by searching for the PDR Coach, or find me on my website at coachcoryk.com, CORYK.com. Thank you for listening, and I'll be back next week.